So this is my 8.2 client 2 evaluation. So to introduce some images of the tests being done, waist to hip ratio, peak flow, heart rate and blood pressure. And so with this scenario, there's things about a client you can change and things you can't. So things like their age, you have no control over, of course. Their medical history, so if they have a history of depression or diabetes or heart attacks, you can't do anything to necessarily stop that from occurring. However, you can do things to help halt the illness or lower their risks of it developing or lower their risks of having their life shortened by certain illnesses. You know, things like smoking, drinking, exercise levels, their fat content, their diet, their cholesterol, all things that can be changed and helped. So that's what we aim to do with this evaluation. So your heart rate, as you can see here, is a average resting for men, from athletic to poor. And this was a graph I created based on your result and the tables. And unfortunately, as you can see, your heart rate is considered very poor. Well, it's just above poor. As you can see here, poor's class is 82 and above, and you're at 83, so that's very concerning. It isn't good. And then we look at your blood pressure here. This is a sort of average thing in degreeing whereabouts you fall in the category. This is your systolic, the yellow, and recommended systolic in the green. Same with the diastolic, yours and recommended. Your blood pressure is classed as pre-high, so 133 round to 88. So yeah, you're classed as being in the pre-high category, which is also quite concerning as this can develop into lots of issues in the future. Your body mass index, because of your age, being 17, you're a centile, you get marked on a centile, and you're in the 99th centile, which suggests you're very overweight, unfortunately. But, like I said, these are all things that can be changed and helped. And it's not something that should be held against you in any way. And we are here to help you lose some weight, get much healthier. Your lung function. So, although the graph looks quite drastic, it's not. As you can see on the side here, it's very minimal. Your lung function your peak flow came in at 500 litres per minute, your average, and the national average for someone roughly your age and height is around 500 to 510. So, I'm very happy with your peak flow. It suggests no respiratory illness, and it suggests you've got very healthy lungs, which is good. Your waist to hip ratio, as you can see here, was quite high, and it's roughly at the at risk. You're just above average, we'd say. But then equally here it says it's in terms of health, it's not too concerning, but it's not great. But here you can see, obviously, this is the normal kind of ratio for people your age, 0.87 to 0.94. So it's something that will be helped in throughout this program. It will probably come lower, and this will be very beneficial to your health. Once again, it's nothing to be worried about. It's just simply, for now, if we act quickly in things, it's things that will not have any effect on your future. So, in terms of your goals that you've given me, they're highly achievable in that you want to lose a set amount of weight in a set amount of time. You're willing to spend as much time as need be on this program, which is good, in that it means we're able to work for you for as long as possible, as long as need be, as long as you want. Your goals, like I said, were very specific. You wanted to lose a set amount of weight in a set amount of time, and you knew what you wanted to see on a short, medium and long term basis. And your goals are very easy to measure in that you want to lose weight mainly, and you also want to develop some strength maybe. And it's simple, a case of, checking your body mass index. We can monitor your weight on scales, use skin fold calipers. It's very easy to monitor your goals and how well you're achieving them. However, I would say the only issue here is your motivation must be maintained, which means we'll keep it under watch because it will take a lot of motivation to drop weight and gain muscle. In terms of your physical activity, you like a one-on-one environment and an autocratic style of leadership, which is going to be very helpful in maintaining motivation and developing a relationship between us, because I can keep you under close watch and guide you through everything. However, I would say the issue here is that you currently take part in no exercise and you have little previous sporting experience, taking part in a few sports before, which isn't too good for your future health. And you said you were bullied during PE lessons, which may have given you a negative association with exercise, which can be worked through. And like I said, with your one-on-one environment and autocratic leadership style liking, it will make it very easy to get past that and hopefully turn the new light on exercise for you. In terms of your nutrition, you do consume a good amount of water, which will be very good for your blood and overall hydration. I'm assuming your protein consumption is relatively average, in that you're probably getting the recommended amount. You eat a regular schedule, which is good, in that once we've adapted your diet to become slightly healthier, we know you'll be able to stick to a schedule which will be very beneficial to training, and you suffer from no eating disorders or allergies, which is good. However, you do consume far too many fats. You definitely consume over 70 grams of fat, which is recommended to be less than, and you definitely consume more than 20 grams of saturates, which can be very dangerous to your health. You said you eat a lot of fried foods, fatty foods, you snack on the more fatty, sugary things, which also means you're having far too much sugar, well over 90 grams. You eat a lot of starchy foods, chips, potatoes, that sort of thing. So I feel like you're probably getting over the recommended 260 grams, probably over 300. And given that you have quite a low level energy expenditure, this is definitely too high. Your salt intake would definitely be far too high. Too much sodium in your diet, which is most likely one of the issues with your blood pressure, and this can also cause potentially fatal outcomes, so it needs to be changed. You do overeat. You said you probably eat around 4 meals a day, which isn't too healthy, unless you're looking to build a lot of muscle, and then that can be worked with. And as good as it is that you eat with friends regularly and you see friends regularly, the issue with going out is that you don't often see your calories, the fats, what's going into a meal. So this will often be adding more fat than you realise into your diet. And often when people go out, you're more likely to have 3 courses or 2 courses, usually a dessert, which will be a lot of sugars and most likely more fat content. So this will be discussed later. How we could help this. In terms of your lifestyle, like I said, you see friends quite regularly, which is good because it aids with your stress, but you do eat out, like I said before, but this is good for social contact and support from your peers, and you don't smoke or drink, which is good. That takes away a few concerns for your health, that takes away a few negative factors that could be damaging to you, which is good. Areas for improvement though, well, not areas for, areas for improvement. You say you have little to no support from the parents, which is something we obviously be hard for us to help with, but obviously this causes you stress. But we can help you work with that stress and work through it. You work shifts, so you're never on one set timetable usually, which can not be too good. It can put risk to your ability to exercise and maintain an eating pattern, but you manage to so far. You get little social contact when you're at work, as you said, which isn't too good for your mental health. You need to be trying to talk to people. I know it's difficult in a call centre. You said you're stressed quite regularly most days, which isn't good for your health. That could put a lot of strain on your heart, and be very bad for your future health. You use public transport regardless of where you're going, be it the shops down the road or to work. This means you're getting even less exercise than you could be. And you said you have a poor sleep pattern and quantity of sleep. You said you've got 3 to 4 hours of sleep most nights, which isn't good in that it can put a lot of strain on your mind, your body. It can make you more stressed. It doesn't aid your metabolism. It can actually make your metabolism quite bad, which won't help in the distribution of fats and gathering of nutrients from food. And in terms of your physical health, you've said you get quite frequent and bad back problems and mild anxiety, and you've got risk of diabetes in your family, which are all things that we need to monitor on this and help you to try and get past and lower their risk to you. Otherwise, you seem physically able and okay, which is good. It's handy for this. So, in terms of the results of your health check, so your heart rate was at 83 BPM. So this is quite poor. It's not the worst, but it's poor due to many factors, be your diet, lack of exercise, stress, and this is quite risky, as it can cause things like heart attack. It's not good for you to have a overly high heart rate. At most, we want you to be at 72 BPM, if not lower. However, the good side to this is that it's not too bad. It's not too poor that it's worrying, like overly worrying in a second. There's still a lot of time to make change as you're young, which is good. It means we can help you through this, get your heart rate down, and give you a much healthier future. Your blood pressure was 133/88. It's not classed as high yet, and it can be worked with, and it means it will be easier to lower at this point rather than it being high. Then it would be quite hard to get lower, and it would be a lot more strictness within your life and diet and everything. However, it is still classed as pretty high, and if it continues to raise as it is, then it will put you at a lot of risk in the future of things like coronary heart disease, heart attack, stroke. We want it to be a lot closer to 120/80, if not on the dot. Even slightly below that would be better. Your BMI was really quite bad. You were 99th centile, which means you are highly overweight, unfortunately. This comes with many health risks and will require immediate action, as this can cause disabilities. It can lead to diabetes, which there's a history of in your family. So we need to make a change to this immediately. Heart problems can come from it, all kinds of issues that you don't really want. You want to be between the 3rd and 91st centile. I'd probably put you wanting to be maybe in the, specifically around the 50th, 30th to 50th. Your lung function, your centile for your BMI is just to make sure you're at a healthier weight, and it will really aid you with your medical history, the diabetes. It will probably aid your mental health and everything. So your lung function, you're at 500 litres per minute. It's slightly lower than average, but like I said, for your height and age, it's probably in the range of being good still. You've got healthy lungs and it's no concern of a respiratory illness. Your waist-to-hip ratio is 0.94. It's not ideal. It's slightly higher than it should be, than we'd like it to be, but it can be helped over time very easily. It probably wants to be around 0.87 to be considered a healthier ratio. And this will obviously be a good monitor of fat distribution, muscle distribution.